Annyeonghaseyo. Hello and welcome to He's a JiKooker, a new podcast where we explore what it's like to be not the stereotypical demographic in the BTS fandom. I'm CJ. I've been ARMY since Wings era, and currently I'm best known in the fandom for my JiKook romance stories. You can find them here on YouTube as videos or the written version on Patreon, patreon.com/CJMoon. Thank you for joining me on this new journey. I can't wait to hear what you think in the comments. Hi, we're back and welcome to episode 2 of what we've decided to call, I think, He's a JiKooker, because I am here. I'm CJ, and I'm here with my husband, Peter.
That's me.
That's you. And he is indeed a JiKooker.
I am indeed.
Peter's been ARMY as long... Well, we'll say as long as I have, shy of probably 3 hours or so.
Yeah, probably about 3 hours. Sure.
3 hours or
I'll
so.
catch you up on
that. I hope not. God, no, I think about the circumstances that needs to happen.
Yep.
So time travel. If I could have time travel, I think the first thing I'd want to do is go back and experience Wembley again. But we'll get to that in the episode, because what we're going to do, first episode we talked a little about how I became ARMY and how Peter quickly followed me down that whole Bangtan rabbit hole. Now we want to move on to, I think we're going to title it IRL, what it's like for us to go as a family, Peter, myself, or our child, who hopefully you'll meet later in the series, going to things in real life, because I'm not going to say you get some strange looks, but you definitely get some interested looks.
Yeah, it's not something that really bothers me. I think BTS are for everyone.
Clearly.
But you do tend to see more people who are not like me at these things than you do people who are like me at these things.
Either that, or what you do is if you see husbands, there's a lot of kind of disinterested.
Yeah, you get the I'm just here because she wanted to be here
Yes.
kind of thing. Although that's not always the case. There are a large number of ARMY that I've seen out there who do not fit the traditional stereotype. So many, though, that I think the traditional stereotype is actually a bit silly. But...
It definitely is. And my channel demographics show that. I mean, people who say, ooh, ARMY are all screaming teenage fangirls can have a look at the fact that 50% of my channel are over 55 years old. So definitely not in the teenage. You don't sell out an entire line of luxury SUVs as a teenager if your fandom is teenagers. So tell me a little bit about what you remember those first few times that we went and actually connected with BTS fans out in the wild, so to speak. Living in the UK, it's really easy to kind of pretend that you're the only one. It's so rare to see any BTS fans in the wild. What do you remember about those first events?
I remembered going to the first event, which I think was in Oxford. We went to see one of the movies.
Yeah, definitely one of the movies.
And yeah, I was hugely into BTS by then. Knew all the members, knew all the tracks, knew a lot about them. And I didn't know what to expect when I went. I expected to be worried, to be a little bit scared. And when we got there and we got into the environment, I wasn't. I mean, yep, there are a lot more teenage people there. That's one of the things I noticed when we've been to things in Oxford compared to where we live now. There are a lot more teenagers, a lot more a younger crowd. There was a lot more student age, sort of university student age.
Well, it was Oxford. There was just a lot more university students there in general, I suppose.
Yeah. And there was a lot of dancing, a lot of singing, people getting up and dancing in the aisles during the movie, but it was all very inclusive. I mean, we spoke to people in the foyer before we went into the movie, and they were all just incredibly friendly and interested to hear what our story was as ARMY.
Well, and that's something that's really interesting as well, is obviously when I go out, I am a JiKooker, and I have my Jimin headband or my Jungkook headband, and I will have a combination of both Jimin and Jungkook
You're
represented.
pretty. You have your really pretty JiKook hoodie.
I do have my really pretty JiKook hoodie now. You can look on the Fourth Wall store for that. I know I'm not the only one, but the JiKook hoodie with the gold and purple hearts, which I love. I live in that hoodie now, and it hasn't even been winter. It's just going to get worse from here on out. But because of having both Jimin and Jungkook merchandise, I'm always aware that I potentially could be a target. Target is a good word to use for people from the other section of the fandom. Have you heard people talking about JiKook or Taekook while you've been out? What have you noticed? What's your experience been? You tend to have your RJ.
Yeah, I have my RJ headband on, which is very fetching. I love it. My experience is, okay, I will be completely honest. I have heard people talking about JiKook. I have even been asked at one of the cinema showings we went to when they were handing out the goodie bags.
Oh, that was so kind.
Yeah.
I love that. When people hand out little lovely little bags with homemade photo cards and stuff in it.
It's so sweet. It's so cool. We've been asked about JiKook. I have never heard anybody talking about Taekook. I love Tae. I've heard people talking about Tae and how talented he is and how amazing his voice is.
You see Tata merchandise.
Yeah, you see people wearing Tata stuff. That was cat related.
Sorry for the noise. That was cat related.
Yeah, that probably came through.
Okay.
It sounded like an elephant crashing to the floor, but it was just the cat.
Just from the cats. Right. So yes, we've seen Tata merchandise. You can tell we're really pro here, can't you?
Definitely.
We've seen Tae, but you've never. I haven't. But then if I'm wearing a combination of Jimin and Jungkook, I can't imagine they'd have anything polite to say to me.
And yeah, I'm there in my headband, and I have never heard anybody or seen anybody asking about it. It might just be the people who were at that showing, but yeah, JiKook has always been something I've heard something about.
Well, I think it's, from our point of view, it's quite obvious that the interactions that you're seeing when you're looking at concerts or when you're looking at some of these movies, the interactions between Jimin and Jungkook stand out quite clearly. So then tell me because I think that this is something that people are waiting to hear. Tell me what it is that drew you to Jimin and to Jungkook as a couple. What are the moments? I know what the moments are for me, and you've been exposed to all of the same moments. Talk me through it. Talk them through it.
The thing, well, okay, I'll be completely honest. The first time that I thought there could be anything, and I wasn't accustomed to the culture of what is called shipping back then, was when you brought my attention to it. And you said, look at those two and the way they're interacting. Do you think there's something going on there? And I was like, okay, we played it again. And I was like, it does look like there's something going on there. And part of it was the natural nature of the interaction between the two.
Do you remember what incident it was?
I don't remember.
It was years ago.
It was years ago, and I've seen so many JiKook videos and so many interactions between the two of them. I wouldn't be able to remember which one it was. But I remember looking and going, okay, yep, let's keep an eye on that. And then it just kept dripping through. Drip. Yeah. This happened, that happened, the other happened. This is, we're not talking Rose Bowl here. We're talking way before that.
Way before Rose Bowl.
And it was just watching Bangtan Bombs or anything. And it's the way they gravitate towards each other. There's a more natural balance between the two of them, a natural attraction between the two of them than there is anywhere else in that group.
You hear other shipping couples brought up regularly. I don't like to use shipping when it comes to JiKook because it's supporting what's already there. It's not forcing what's there. I always use the example of shipping to me is taking two dolls and trying to force them to kiss when it's really, really unnatural. Do you see any other interactions like this amongst any of the other members?
Not to the same level. No,
definitely not to the
it's
same
you get the little jokey moments. You will get interaction between them, but not at the JiKook level, and not in the same way. The little hand touches and things, the grabbing of various parts of other people's anatomy. I just haven't seen that. And yes, I have looked for it because I'm constantly looking to see whether
You're
there's
Mr.
any
Logical.
change.
You're
Yeah,
Mr. Logic and facts and...
grew up on the X-Files, grew up on the crazy world of conspiracies and UFOs and etc. And so I have a lot of fun looking for things, and a very logical approach to when I see something. When I see a video, I want to see it again. Can you zoom in on that bit? Can we have a look at this? It's
true. That's
more
100% very true. Okay, I don't want to get too distracted. We will talk more about JiKook and your thoughts about them in future episodes. But the whole point of this, the podcast, the series in general, is not just about JiKook, but it is about non-stereotypical fans within what is considered to be a homogeneously young female fandom. Spoiler, it's not. So let's talk then. We're talking about the movies. Now, you have been to see them live.
I have.
One of the lucky ones, and goodness knows what we're in for with the Hunger Games next time there's ticketing for a world tour. But you have been lucky enough. You were there at Wembley, that now legendary show.
My voice is mixed in with all those other voices singing. Thank goodness it's mixed with all those other voices singing.
So what was your first impression? I mean, I had been there the first night with our son, and then Peter joined us on the second night. So, and I had seen them twice in Chicago already as well. So I knew kind of what to expect. What were your first impressions of walking from the car, goodness knows where we parked, a million miles away, to the stadium, what we saw along the way, and what happened that night?
Oh, going from the car to the stadium, it was just the great atmosphere, the way everything was put together with all the posters and the I suppose you would call them flags that they were flying from the
love
street
yourself,
lights.
speak yourself flags,
yeah. And then Wembley all lit up, and then kind of going in, but how ordered and how organised everything was. I've been to sporting events before, and the pushing and shoving and slight discombobulation, the confusion of people going,
chaos.
Not knowing where they're going, the total chaos, and it just wasn't the same as that. It was a great atmosphere. Going in, finding the seats, sitting down, and then looking at the plans, to go back to what we were talking about before. And what I remember was the seats in front. There was a guy in a t-shirt who was already going for it, despite the fact it was just the music on the screens at that point.
Yeah,
it was the music building and the atmosphere building and people singing along with
whatever music were playing at
videos
the time.
were playing. And then it kicked in, and I hate to say it, but the first thing I remember is well, I don't hate to say it. Why would I say that? The first thing I remember is Namjoon, stage presence.
Oh, God, yeah.
Mr. Stage Presence, straight in there. Mr. President on the stage. Away he goes. I don't even know if he was the first person on there, but I just remember that moment.
It was Dionysus, wasn't it?
I think they
first
started
track.
with Dionysus.
First track was Dionysus. And yeah, he rocks that. Yeah. I've got such a soft spot for Namjoon.
Yeah.
Sexy brain of his. Amazing. So it was a one heck of a way to start a show.
Yeah.
But of all the moments of that show, what's the one you remember the most?
Well, we've got JiKook flying.
We do have JiKook flying
out there. The JiKook flying ferry around above the crowd, having such a great time of it. But the standout moment is, and it still makes me go cold now. I've got goosebumps now just thinking about it. There's little hairs standing up on my arms. J-Hope.
J-Hope.
I remember seeing J-Hope when everybody started chanting his name, take his earpieces out and look around, and it was on, must have been on the big screens because we were far enough back I couldn't see his eyes,
Yeah.
but just the hint of tears in his eyes. I mean, he's such professional, but such the hint of tears in his eyes, and remembering back to that moment that was on, was it a Bangtan Bomb or something, of him sitting in his room.
It was I know where
early
you're going.
days.
It was a studio.
Yeah.
One of the early lives.
Pre-debut.
Possibly pre-debut.
Yeah. And he's talking about the emails that everybody else has got. J-Hope has no emails.
Everyone else had messages and he had none.
Nothing at all. And to go from that and the way he handled that and still be the hope of the world,
the sunshine.
The sunshine.
Even back then, when he had no messages, he was trying so hard to put a positive spin on it, and you could tell on his face that he wasn't.
Yeah, he was
sad.
He was
very sad.
And and so for him to make that journey, I'm really sad they cut it out of the Wembley movie.
The movie
released
recently. Yeah, they cut out quite a few key bits, including singing Young Forever, which made it look really ridiculous because it was just, I don't even remember what song was before it. There's this great lively song, and then you cut to the next track and they're all sobbing.
Yeah, they're all crying, and it all looks like there's been some massive, I don't know, horrible thing that's happened, and they're choking through it, and it's just like, no, it's because we sang to them, but you took that out, even if they just left 10 seconds, just so and a little explanation, it was just wrong. It just didn't feel right.
So, of the other solos there, whose other solos do you remember?
I remember Tay's solo. I remember Jimin's solo. Jimin's solo, the bubble blew my mind because I didn't know what to expect. I don't know why. I should have probably seen it somewhere else. Yeah, but at that moment, I didn't know what was going to happen, and for Jimin to just reach out and just kind of touch it and pop the bubble, and it's so beautiful. I mean, Jimin as a person is just so gorgeous. He is, whether he's there picking up bits of broken stage or making sure that someone has somewhere to sit. He is an absolute angel. I went to bet that Jimin is, he is the first one to be there to help someone.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that over and over and over. I think it's been, that entire show was obviously incredible and now legendary because of the army moment that happened in it. Did you feel uncomfortable? Did you notice lots of other people, I don't know, men of your age bracket or whatever? There were
plenty of other men of my age bracket there. There were as we talked about earlier, there were I'm here because she's here crowd.
Which they don't deserve tickets.
No.
Honestly, if you're not going to get into it, you give those tickets to someone who deserves them.
But there were plenty of guys there who were, who were completely into it. And we're going for it. I mean, it's diversity. It's a diverse crowd. It is, going back to other. I'll use the term boy bands. I don't really like the term boy bands, but other boy bands, there have always been guys who love them and follow them. I went to uni with guys who were into Take That, and would play them ceaselessly and go to see them in concerts and stuff. It's not unusual for guys to be into it. I think it's just unusual for it to be represented in the correct way because the media want it to be. Oh, look at all the screaming fangirls.
The way of discrediting the fandom as a whole.
Yeah, it's not real music because, and it's only screaming fangirls, and it's just like, it's not. Anybody who's been to a BTS concert or any BTS event will say, there are lots of people there.
Go on, say that to Min Yoongi's face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go on. Tell August D that it's only for screaming fangirls. I think he might have some words. He might have some very words. And no one can. You can put Yoongi up against any rapper in Western music,
Oh, easily.
and he can run rings around him.
Well, it's, you know, he goes to the NBA games and hangs out with the big name rappers when he's there, you know, and they know who he is, you know.
And respect him.
And respect him for what he does, because he's not just a rapper. He's a rapper and a singer and a dancer and a producer, and, you know, he is the man of many personalities.
Yes, he does. He does. He's got. I think it's interesting to see the changes between. I think we've touched on this already, between Min Yoongi and Suga and Augusty, and how that works, and be interesting to see which facet of that personality comes out on the new album.
Yeah.
And we've just had now, I'm guessing, the final concert of the soloist era with Jin's show over the weekend, which we didn't get to see, sadly, because we were away and we had no internet, practically no internet.
No, not at all.
No.
Not enough for watching a concert, and we didn't have anything big enough to watch it.
No,
there's no use watching it.
There's no point trying to watch Jin on a tiny screen.
Yeah.
Worldwide Handsome is far too big a personality.
Not gonna fit his shoulders.
No, it's true. We won't fit his shoulders in that. That's a shame too, because he is your bias.
He is.
Still. How many years? Your bias has never changed.
No, it never has. 7 years. I mean, it varies around.
I
would say 7.
Bias wrecker swaps.
Oh, bias wreckers, yeah, they come and go. There's, you know, the J-Hope moments that everyone, I'm sure, has seen recently with the arrival of J-Hope's chest.
Yeah. How are we going to survive that on the IMAX?
I really don't know. I'm thinking regular cold showers, slow exposure, build ourselves up.
Exactly.
You know.
We'll watch like 5 minutes a day going up to it, and then boost maybe, you know, the few days beforehand, 20-30 minutes of chapter 2 Hobie, because he's found himself and he's loving himself. He's definitely loving himself.
And to be honest, I can see exactly why he's loving himself.
I can see that as well.
Yeah.
So, do you have, what would you say to if you could talk to a man, I'm not saying you go up at one of these in real life events and go, "Oi, you, buddy," sitting there with your arms folded, but what would you want to say to him? What do you want to say to that person?
I would say, well, it's something we always talk about. I would say, right, okay, what music are you into?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's something there for you.
Yeah.
Because it's BTS, and they are multi-talented across the spectrum. And I would also say, just give them a chance. If you're coming in here with an attitude of, I'm not going to like them, then you've got less of a chance of liking them. It's like so many things in life.
You talk yourself into it.
Yeah, you can talk yourself, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. And just watch, just join in, just give yourself a second, give yourself a couple of songs, actually watch what's going on. Don't have this pre-written narration in the back of your brain that I'm not going to like this.
Do you think it is all just a mental block then?
I think a lot of it is a mental block. Of course there are going to be people who don't like it, and that's fine, that's cool, because, you know, if they come to it with an open mind and they don't like it, great. You know, they're into something else. They're into something different. But I think that a large number of people come in with the conception of Korean music, K-pop, as a whole. Mm-hmm. And they have this media-driven thing of this is what it is. And they don't understand. Because I know I didn't understand. You know, when we first started, you know, Japanese/Korean anime theme songs were what we knew.
Yep.
And then suddenly, you know, we have BTS. And it was a great way to start because it showed us the differences.
Do you remember when we had watched a few BTS videos and went, oh, this K-pop thing, there might be something to this.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is really the best of them. It shows us both being the Aspie autistic thing in us. It's like, if I'm going to follow it, I want to know what the best is. I want to know the absolute best. I'm going to min-max the heck out of this.
Yep.
And we went off and we really did research. We looked at other groups that were big at the time, and no disrespect to any of them. I remember we looked at Got7. Got7 was huge.
Yep.
And I love a bit of Jackson Wang. I
Jackson
love
awesome.
Bam Bam. Adore Bam Bam. No, love Got7. But they couldn't match up to BTS.
No.
Who else did we see at that point? EXO was big.
We would have said, yeah, EXO was big around about then. New East were around.
New East were around. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss them. I miss them. I miss Got7.
There just wasn't enough New East at the time, and then of course I don't know, they've broken up, but they're on an extended break at this point.
I think some of them are still doing military.
Yeah.
Is Ren still in the military?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, he is. I haven't seen anything about him leaving the military. So, but yeah, we looked around at all those other groups, and we did come back to BTS constantly
because there was just nothing that could match it.
Yeah.
And this is back in the days when, before some of the massive hits that there are today.
Yeah.
Do you remember what your favorites of the early videos were?
I think the earliest one that I remember going big on was probably Idol. But also DNA. DNA was huge. I loved the video.
After that was quite a while after.
Okay.
Probably one of the first big comebacks that we really strongly paid attention to at that point and went all out for streaming and stuff.
Yeah.
But we were around for the others. But it was really hard because trying to get any information in the UK at that point was ridiculous. You couldn't get, you certainly couldn't get any of the albums.
No.
You couldn't get information because what you had was only what some people would put on YouTube, and at that point it was, if there was anything in English, it was US focused.
Yeah.
And I hadn't started trying to learn Korean at that point. Definitely you couldn't buy the albums here. You couldn't buy any BT21 merch. Now you can. Now you can go down to HMV. Local record stores, still not so much. But you can get the BT21 stuff and albums.
Well, you get sort of the posters, the Tiny Tan stuff that popped up when we were out once in an arcade.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Sort of head snaps round and it's like, hold on.
Yeah.
Because it's normal for us to see that stuff around, but not in that situation.
Random arcade in, it was like, where were we?
New Brighton.
Yeah. Yes. Seaside, British Victorian seaside.
Very,
now very tatty. And in this kind of penny arcade thing.
New Brighton is not tatty.
Okay, I've just gotten kicked under the table. It's not it's not tatty, but it's not the glory of the Victorian
it's not
seaside stuff that
it's
it
not
used
the Shining.
To be. No. It's just across the water from Liverpool. And it does have great views.
Yeah.
But it was the last place you would have expected to see any Tiny Tan merchandise.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
You get bits all over the place. Blind bags. I'm sure we've gotten blind bags from Smith Toys at various points.
Mm-hmm.
With
they
BTS.
had the Mattel dolls as well, didn't they?
Did,
when the Mattel dolls were out. So what merchandise? You just rearranged your study. What BTS merch do you have on your desk right now?
On my desk right now.
Or in the area over there.
The area around in the background.
You've got is your RJ pop in there?
Yeah, my RJ pop is on the shelves. I'm trying to think of where everything is because I've just rearranged it. So it's like, and by just rearranged it, I'm probably about halfway through.
We'll have to do some pictures at some point in time because BTS is kind of, I would say, it's very pervasive in our house.
I've got my RJ sleep mask on the bed.
You do have your RJ. Well, you've got
my RJ
loads. You've got two. We have 2 bookshelves worth of BTS albums and merch in the bedroom, and a poster and the fan art of Jimin, my reader poster picture.
Yeah,
that's framed.
That's beautiful.
I'm trying to think if there's a room in the house that doesn't have BTS merch.
Well, there is one that's the downstairs bathroom is missing something. But we
the downstairs bathroom
and
to be fair, the upstairs bathroom is also missing something.
Yeah. But
dining room, yes.
Dining
living room.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallway. Our bedroom, my study, your study. Yeah.
Done at one's room.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's J-Hope everywhere.
Yeah.
J-Hope everywhere.
Right.
Everywhere in there. Yeah. Okay, well, we should probably wrap this up. This has gone on for a while, and I know that we've digressed and kind of wandered off. Please, by all means, leave us questions. What do you want to ask me? But most importantly, what do you want to ask Peter? What kind of situation can he help you out with stubborn anti-BTS people in your life that we can talk you through? Or if you've got questions about experiences that he's come across while we've been out. We didn't talk about as much IRL stuff as we had planned to.
But
next up, we're going to talk a bit more about JiKook in the next episode. But more importantly, I want to get into this whole idea that you talked about with the bias, people biased against things, and particularly when it comes to Jimin.
Yeah.
So the next episode is going to be titled The Jimin Effect, and we're really, really going to dig into what we think and what Peter thinks about why it is that our angel attracts so much hate. So stay tuned.
I have thoughts.
You do.
Listen to the next episode.
You have lots and lots
I've
of
got
thoughts.
lots of thoughts about our Jimin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know you do, sweetheart.
Yeah.
I know you do.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell.
Who's the professional here? Definitely he is, because I would have forgotten. Thank you so much, everyone. The next episode should be up in a couple of days. Thank you for putting up with us swapping channels, but I do think that having it on the podcasting channel is a much more natural place for it to be. Subscribe.
There's
Please subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers.
The Patreon is awesome.
And the Patreon is awesome as well. Right. Thank you very much. I love you. I purple you. Sarangay.
Take care.